Well, hello, wonderful listeners, and welcome to the grand finale of our Bible quiz journey here at the Apostate Sisters podcast. I'm Patty, and I make this podcast with my sister Nancy, and we grew up in a doomsday cult. So with this episode, we are excited to wrap up our horrifying and uproarious exploration of the good book through the lens of our experiences escaping the clutches of the Worldwide Church of God and deconstructing from evangelical mind control. As we get going on this final section of the quiz, Nancy and I have been reflecting on the laughter, the revelations, and honestly the sense of solidarity that unfolded for us in the past 3 episodes. Leave it to us to use our precious in-person together time to continue dissecting the Bible's intricacies. It's been a wild ride. If you've been following along, we hope you've found it both entertaining and enlightening. Sorry if we're a little crude. Go ahead and grab your metaphorical popcorn and let's dive in to the last chapter of our Bible quiz shenanigans. So, get ready to get mad or to nod your head in agreement. Here it is.
All right, moving on to question 35. Which of these phrases did Jesus not say about witnessing? Thou shalt not bear false witness. God is my witness. If I bear witness of myself, it is true. If I bear witness of myself, it is not true.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say I think both the if I bear witness of myself, it is true and not true. I'm going to say both of those are in there because that makes me laugh.
Okay.
I think they're setting up a epic contradiction here. So I'm going to say God is my witness is the one that is not
These
something
people were
Jesus said.
Amazing for putting this together. This really is great.
Okay, it is God is my witness is not something Jesus has said, which means, in fact, Jesus said both. If I bear witness of myself, it is true. And if I bear witness of myself, it is not true.
Yep, you caught on to that contradiction.
I knew that's where they were headed.
Yes. Oh. All right. It says, Paul wrote, "For God is my witness, whom I serve with my spirit in the gospel of his Son." Romans 1:9. Notice that Jesus contradicts himself below. Patty, since you caught it, go ahead and read it.
Okay. So Paul was the one that said, "For God is my witness," and Jesus did not.
Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then we've got... If I bear witness of myself, it is true. So that was not the right answer to this. So Jesus did say this. It says, Jesus answered and said unto them, Though I bear record of myself, yet my record is true. For I know whence I came and whither I go, but ye cannot tell whence I come and whither I go. What?
I have no fucking idea what you just read.
I don't either. They're even using this word martyria, like martyr.
Martyria?
Like
it means
martyr.
bear witness, it says. Or testify.
Well, but that's related to the word martyr for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Because when someone's martyred, their murder is like evidence of their rightness or something, right?
Well, maybe it'll make more sense when we read the next part because it says it pertains to the contradictory below, which is John 5:31.
Oh, okay. So John 5:31. If I bear witness of myself, my witness is not true. Okay.
I mean...
Ay. Honestly, people...
And in this language, like, the average person today is just supposed to pick this apart and know exactly what the fuck this says and means.
Meanwhile, the scholars who actually have the best knowledge that we have about these old languages and how things were written and how the scribal things went, they can't agree. Like, there are general consensus about quite a few things, especially among secular scholars. Mm-hmm. But other than that, like, everybody's got their own little take on it, even when they're the ones with the most knowledge we have about life at that time.
And look at all these different versions of the Bible. One word here means different things depending on which Bible you look at. And it can be very drastic in its meaning. Oh, this is giving me a headache more than a hangover right now.
Can we just point out that the person who is third in line to the presidency of the United States right now is on record as saying, "Oh, you want to know my worldview? Just open up the Bible and that's what it is." What the fuck?
Yep, we can see it, bud. We can see it.
Yeah, but someone like that who's delusional enough to think that's reality should be nowhere near the hands of power.
Yes. But power is where they like to lie.
Holy
And they will do it by any means necessary to get control of the masses. So this book was a wonderful tool for that, and it is still, it's unbelievable the amount of power in these words in this one fucking book. Unbelievable. Like, why couldn't the Nazis have burned all the Bibles up when they were doing their book burning?
They got it backwards.
Yeah, they got it backwards for sure. Okay. On to the next question. Number 36. What personal sacrifice for the kingdom of heaven was Jesus talking about when he told his disciples, "He that is able to receive it, let him receive it"? You know what? My mind is going very dirty right now. I'm sorry. If we're talking about interpretations, I mean, hello, gay. Like,
What? Receive
Right?
it? Oh, be the receiver.
if you can able to receive it, let him receive it. Jesus Christ. I mean,
Take it up the ass.
take it up the butt.
If you're into that sort of thing, and give consent.
Exactly.
That's my
But-
ad.
Oh my
Jesus
God.
didn't say that. Well, what do you think it is? Let's do a word study on it in the Bible. Okay, anyway.
Okay, but here are the options. Okay, getting back to it. Sorry. Leave your family, pluck out your eyes, become poor, or castrate yourself.
It's definitely castrate yourself.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. That is what they're referring to.
This has got to be a Paul thing. No, this is Jesus. It says Jesus was saying
Jesus
it.
was talking about this to his disciples.
Because Paul was the one that was like, all right, y'all probably shouldn't be fucking at all. So, like, don't even get married. But, you know, if you can't stop yourself from fucking, like, all right, get married.
Wait, that's what you take from this?
No, I'm talking about Paul.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let me read this again. Okay, what personal sacrifice for the kingdom of heaven was Jesus talking about when he told his disciples, "He that is able to receive it, let him receive it"? So where in the fuck does castrate yourself come in? I'm not... Okay, I'll have to read this here because I am not getting the parallel here.
Why aren't they're asking why aren't they preaching this one right now?
Yes, why aren't they free? Okay, no wonder we don't hear sermons from the entire New Testament. How many preachers actually take this ghastly advice seriously? Although some have prudently tried to interpret this as celibacy rather than castration, the early church father Origen, is that how you say that?
Yep, Origin.
Read it literally and took a knife to himself. Holy fuck. There were entire monastic orders and church choirs in need of sopranos known as castrati based on this teaching of Jesus. Literal or not, the face value of this verse is physical self-inflicted mutilation. Wow.
I mean, there's other religions where people self-flagellate and they, like, whip themselves.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I mean, that's some next level shit. Why is that not in the DSM-5 to say that people who would physically harm their bodies in service of their imaginary God?
Fuck.
I mean, that should be a mental condition in the DSM-5.
Yeah. Well,
Am I wrong?
This is pretty horrific, and I don't remember the woman's name, but yeah, she had a mental illness and she was reading the Bible, and she just took what she interpreted from that and chopped off her own baby's arm. Yeah, I remember when that happened.
Oh my God, we cannot. Oh my God.
Yeah, isn't it horrible?
Okay. And then I say, oh my God.
Yeah, I know. Well,
Oh my glob.
oh my glob.
Oh my glob.
Thanks, Forrest Valkai.
We love you, Forrest Valkai.
Hello, Forrest. you're the most adorable man in the world, and I just want to be friends with you. Oh my God, I just want to like be in his presence all the time because the energy he gives off. You know, he's always smiling. He's always got so much energy, and he's just exudes happiness, like genuine happiness. Never had a bad day in my life. He's great. I love listening to him. Oh, but yeah, anyway, so this, yeah. I don't know what else we can say about this because I am just horrified right now. I mean, yeah.
This does indicate the writing here on Freedom from Religion Foundation's site does say that every year there are actually reported cases of Christian followers mutilating themselves because the Bible said to do it. That's fun.
Yes. I knew there was a bunch of like history with eunuchs when I had gone to Istanbul recently because I was in like this palace it had a harem, and I guess all the men that were going to be around the women, they became eunuchs so that nobody else could fuck the king's women or something like that. I don't know.
A eunuch has their balls removed, right?
Yeah, but then you can't get hard, right?
I think so.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, they still... Okay, never mind.
Is it the frank or the
they
beans?
Still have hands.
The frank or the beans? I don't know. I think it varied by culture, maybe. But yeah, I think chopping the dicksies off, those were forms of punishment in some places.
Well,
but the fact that
yikes.
people did it willingly because they thought it would... How is this book so controlling over people that some dude would chop off his own dick in the name of his God?
And
thinking he'd go to
still
heaven.
do 2,000 years later. It's infuriating. What?
Oh my gosh. I mean, we are still mutilating poor males by removing their foreskins when they do not have permission to do that. So
Yeah, babies who can't give their consent.
I mean, this disgusting practice, things are still going on all around the world.
There's just so much weird advice about what to do with penises and vaginas in the Bible.
Yeah. Vulvas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yikes.
If it's not your body, leave it the fuck alone unless you have consent. Yep. Plain and simple. All right.
Agreed.
All right. I need a...
Should we do a big breath for a cleanse?
Okay, there we go. Question 37. This is some heavy shit here.
Yeah.
According to New Testament medical advice, oh boy, what should you do if you are sick? Seek medical help from doctors ordained by God. Ask the church elders to apply oil to your skin and pray for you. Ask Jesus or the elders to exorcise the evil spirits from your body, or kneel down before a brass serpent wrapped around a pole. No!
That's amazing. Well, you know about that one.
I don't. But that... Wait.
That's the symbol, the medical
that is
symbol.
the rod of Asclepius.
That's the rod of Asclepius.
No shit. We just talked about
We
the
still
rod
use
of
that
Asclepius
in our medical stuff.
last night.
Yeah, we did.
And didn't I say that originated in Mesopotamia, and then the Greeks associated with the Greek god of medicine, Asclepius? Wow.
I don't think that's the answer to this, though. But
It's
I love
not,
that it's in there.
But the fact that it is in here, that's amazing.
That
And
means
we're
whoever
just-
wrote this Freedom from Religion Foundation thing is well aware of the rod of Asclepius and its connection to medical things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were just talking about its correlation.
I mean, kudos.
Yeah.
Kudos. That's well
I
done.
would have loved to have been in the room where these people were like putting these questions together, because that would have been fun.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure it's asked the church elders to apply oil to your skin and pray for you.
And I feel like they did that to you as a kid.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
In the
I don't know if
church.
it was my headaches or my bad attitude, but I definitely, I'm pretty sure it's headaches. But
Probably both.
I definitely had got anointed with oil and prayed over by the elders at one point.
You probably got a headache because you were so fucking bored sitting through 2-3 hours of church that you didn't understand, and pastors yelling, and you got scared, and yeah, you would get headaches that way. It made sense. Okay. Yep.
We're correct.
We're correct. That is the answer. Okay.
So-
Apply oil to your skin and pray for you. Kind of like what Catholics do with like the holy water, or maybe they do something with oil. I don't know.
I think they have anointing oil too.
Okay.
I mean, but anointing with oil is such a fucking witchy thing too. Like in the times I've been doing witchcraft things, there's stuff about like anointing a candle with oil before you light it with your intention and stuff. So it's just so funny to me how Christians will freak out about witchy things having to do with oil and stuff like that. And yet, same thing, right? You're doing it too. It's very weird.
Yeah, I mean, this is a topic that we could go on and on about too. There's a lot of Christian organizations today, including the ones our parents have been in, that they just don't believe in having, medical intervention. They just pray it. But it's weird. A lot of Christians, they go get medical intervention, but yet they think, oh, the actual prayer was what did it, not these well-trained medical doctors saving their life.
Right.
Like, thanks, you absolute asshole.
The ones in the middle are kind of like, "Dear God, please guide the doctor's hands." So they kind of like get the whole package then.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Right. I mean, that
yes.
seems like the best way to do what you want and also lip service it.
Yet they preach
Yeah.
free will. So
Oh, okay.
the contradictions just keep coming.
Free will's coming sometime.
Yes, that's a heavy topic. All right, we're at question 38 now. What does Paul prohibit a woman from wearing in church? Is it a hat or any head covering, gold, necklaces, bracelets, or anklets, or men's clothing?
You know what's weird is I would have thought like being too dressed up was a problem. I feel like there's a passage about that, but gold and the necklaces option could both count for that. So I actually feel like we're going to hear that head covering is something that's prohibited because I'm pretty sure there's a contradiction where in another place it's required. I don't think men's clothing were allowed to be worn by women, but I don't think that was the prohibition here. I think it's a hat or head covering. Or, I mean, I do think there's something about gold. That's like a real dick move to wear all your fine jewelry.
Yes, I was leaning towards gold myself too, but that would be hilarious if it were a hat because women wear hats in churches all the time. Let's see.
Oh, I was wrong. You were right. It was gold.
It is gold. Well, to be fair, though, I've done this quiz before, so
Okay, well.
I do remember some of them. But yeah, that's interesting. Gold. How many Christian women know they're breaking God's law by wearing gold wedding rings to church, or pearls, or braids, or expensive clothing? It says this is all part of the biblical plan to keep women in their place. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, you want to read the passage on that?
Sure, I mean, we can't let her go thinking she's pretty or something.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Passage here from 1 Timothy chapter 2. In like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with braided hair or gold or pearls or costly array. Paul was not simply giving his own personal advice here. He introduced these verses with, Whereunto I am ordained a preacher and an apostle. I speak the truth in Christ and lie not. A teacher of the Gentiles in faith and verity.
Yeah, that's New Testament shit right there. Hello,
Oh, yeah.
Christians. Women cannot wear any of this crap.
How did we get to the point of, the evangelical women that were known for the higher the hair, the closer you are to God, and all the like heavy makeup and everything?
Like Marie Antoinette. Woo!
Like Tammy Faye Baker is what I was thinking.
Okay. Dang, that's really terrible. Yeah. Goes back to the bite model, Pats, when you can control what someone eats, what they wear, how they think, all of it.
Who they fuck.
Who they fuck. Yep. What they can do with their own bodies. Yeah. Yep. It's quite impressive what they've been able to do. All right. Question 39. According to Paul, again, what is the role of women in the church? They are equal to men in all respects. Doubt that. Women do the praying, singing, and testifying while men handle the preaching and finances. Women must be kept silent. They should learn from their husbands at home. Women are not allowed in church except on high holidays.
It's totally women must keep silent and learn from their husbands at home.
Yes.
It's going to be in the passage directly like that. So there's an apologetic for this that tries to explain it away by saying that that this was a time in which previously women weren't allowed in church at all. And so they didn't know these things. They hadn't learned yet. And because they didn't know at the time, there wasn't, decorum for being quiet in church. So they'd be in church and it was like women on one side, men on the other. And the women would be shouting out like, honey, I didn't understand the thing he just said. Can you explain it to me?
Keep them ignorant.
And so this is the story that Christians give to try to explain this passage and try to say, oh, that's not what it really means. They're trying to set up like there was this really specific scenario where women were doing this specific thing, and that's what they were addressing, not just generally telling women to shut the fuck up in church. I call BS on that explanation. I mean, apologetics are ridiculous from go, but
it's amazing the things they'll come up with.
Oh, it's so just twisting your thinking and gaslighting you.
We could have a field day with all that.
Ugh.
And
Right,
yep,
yeah.
of course, that is the answer. Must
Keep
keep silent. So needless to say, a lot of women could not be even preachers because they're women.
I don't even need to read it. It's literally just what it says.
Yeah, it is. Yep. Oh, we can say it's from, where is it from here?
1 Corinthians 14.
Yeah, okay.
And then looks like the wives submit to your husbands. Nonsense is in Colossians.
Okay.
My head just went, Colossians. Oh my God.
Got to get those husbands to keep their women in line at home so they don't bring it to the church with them. Jeez. Get a hold of your wife.
You know, every time that we say wife in the Bible, the word that was actually used in the original language was woman.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I wonder when marriage was actually invented then. Like the concept of like having legal binding for two people. Like when did it actually start?
Well, it was part of your livestock portfolio. Yeah.
Livestock portfolio?
Yeah. Well, right, like a wealthy man, he's got, hey, I have 400 sheep, I have 200 head of cattle, I have whatever, and here's my wife or wives, so this is my breeding stock. That's what that is.
Got it.
It was in the grand portfolio. Portfolio is a very crass term to use for it, but it was a biblical age portfolio, investment portfolio.
It was still a legal binding. Yeah.
Well, it was an ownership.
It was an ownership.
Yeah, not a partnership.
Yep. Binding. Yeah. Heard of him. Got it. All right. Question 40. What does Paul yet again say about marriage? Do you say, I wish everyone were single like me? Celibacy is a pagan practice. Elders and deacons may have more than one wife. Or if your feelings are only sexual, then don't get married. That one's actually the opposite, but yeah.
Yeah. It's I wish everyone were single like me. Kind of makes you wonder about this Paul person.
Oh, you knew this one. Okay. You seem to know a lot about Paul, so okay.
Yes.
I trust you on that.
Well, because Paul's held up as this like church father or whatever. He literally never even met Jesus. Like after Jesus had died, he was like, hey, guess what, guys? Jesus came to me and he told me that I'm the one to tell you what to do from now on.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what happened.
You heard the term incel?
Yeah, incel?
Yeah. Dude that doesn't get laid. Yeah. He's
Oh, I do think there's some notion that Paul was kind of a small, sort of crippled kind of dude.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, women didn't want him to begin with. Yeah, probably.
Oh, I don't think women had a choice, though. If he had had money and power, it wouldn't have mattered.
That's true.
He could have had all the pussy he wanted.
Yeah.
Okay, yep. I wish everyone were single like me.
Yes. Okay, I'll read this. As author Ruth Green put it, the Christian family is a Christian fantasy. Paul's belief that it is good for a man not to touch a woman, that comes from 1 Corinthians 7:1. It led to the doctrine of celibacy and other warped teachings on sexuality. 19th century feminist author Matilda Joslyn Gage pointed out that this teaching directly led to such women-hating abuses as, ding, 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 witch hunts.
Yep, absolutely.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I knew about the last one here. If you're having sexual thoughts towards someone, it's better that you go ahead and marry them.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. Yeah. But at the time, Paul was like, hey, y'all, Jesus is coming back so soon that you should just not change anything. To me, this is like Paul being real life propaganda for the Roman Empire to get the Christians to sit down and shut up.
Yeah.
Right? Because he was like, hey, if you're a slave, don't try to change anything right now. Like, just chill and hang out because Jesus is coming, which gets people to accept their lot in life and not push against it, not push for reforms or for something better. But that whole energy is still being used.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, then on to question 41.
Home stretch.
Paul yet again. Paul forbids divorce, but Jesus allows it under one circumstance. What is that circumstance? I think we already know the answer to this. Is it if the husband has sex outside of marriage, if the wife has sex outside of marriage, if either has had sex outside of marriage, or if the wife fails to produce a son, because, it's entirely her fault if you don't get a son.
I think it's the produce a son one, but I'm not feeling...
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Yeah, I'm not sure on this one.
Allows...
If the wife has sex.
Wife has sex outside of marriage, is the only one, as far as I know.
Okay, let's see.
But the man can do it. Yep.
Okay.
Sure
right.
shit. Yep. I feel like, wife not producing a son. I always think of like
That's
King
like,
Henry VIII
yes.
and chopping off heads like, you didn't give me a fucking son. Well, it's actually your sperm that's
Yep.
kind of making a determination here, so don't fucking blame me. Yes.
Shall I read this passage here?
Yep.
All right, so we're at Matthew 5. It has been said, whoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement. Put away his wife.
Put away.
And but the thing is, where did a woman go back then? Women didn't have ability to go out and earn their own living and get an apartment. Mm-hmm. You know, if they were taken from under their father's house, I don't know if they could go back to it, but they were like sold to their husband.
Yeah.
Or put, even if it wasn't a direct selling situation, which it was, you know, it was put under the care of someone else.
Yeah. So if they slept with someone outside of marriage, I'm kind of wondering how that would have taken place in something like that. People know each other. You know, there's small little tribes of houses. People see everything going on.
Well, but this law probably would have been enacted even if it was the wife being raped.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right, because she had sex outside of marriage.
Right. Gross. All right. Question 42. We are getting there, people. What group of people will make it into the heavenly choir? Ew, because that's such a place I want to be. Those who are poor in spirit, those who confess their sins and accept Jesus as their Savior, God's chosen people, the Jews, or here we go, Pats, here's your 144,000 where it comes in, male virgins who have not been defiled with women.
I don't think that one's true. I've never heard the Bible refer to anything about male virgins whatsoever. It's like not even a term that is implied about men, because actually a lot of the places where virgin shows up in the Bible, if you look at the Hebrew, that word is used for virgin, but the word itself actually just means young woman. So the Bible literally just doesn't talk about males in terms of virgins, or as far as I know.
The term maiden. Isn't the term maiden for a young woman?
They may have used that in some translations, but I'm talking Hebrew.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think
or Greek, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's the one, God's chosen people, the Jews. And that's something that our parents stand by.
I think it's those who are poor in spirit.
Oh, you know what?
Make it into the heavenly choir.
Yeah, go for it.
Because I think this was used as a weapon to be like, oh, are you poor and having a hard time doing life? Does life suck? Well, guess what? God loves you that way.
Yeah.
That's how he's taking care of you. And he's got all these good things planned for you later because it's so shitty now. So just shut up, sit down, and enjoy your shitty life while I have what I want.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, let's see.
Biggest guilt trip ever.
Oh, I was wrong. Oh, I was so wrong.
Seriously?
I have to walk back everything I just said.
That's okay, because everything you said makes sense, but
it says the answer is 144 male virgins who have not been defiled with women, and I just waxed on about how there's no such thing as virgin being applied to male in the Bible, so I'm wrong. I'm so wrong. Here we go.
These are the people that will not make it into heaven? Right?
The
heavenly choir, whatever the fuck that is.
The people who will make it into the heavenly choir, right?
Which is what? What is the heavenly choir as opposed to, like, heaven?
So I think God wants a gay men's choir. Objectively, a gay men's choir probably is the best men's choir you can attend.
Yes.
So it makes sense to me.
It does.
So if men that hadn't been defiled with a woman are making it into the heavenly choir, like, I'm going to say this passage proves that God approves of gay choirs. Gay men's choirs.
See, this is another little nugget that we can throw into. Hey, we can't help it. This is exactly how we interpret the words. So, yeah. Okay, now I'm curious about the actual passage here. You're like, no women allowed.
It's from Revelation, so you know it's going to be good.
Yes. And I love how they say women defile men. Like, we have destroyed the men by sleeping with them. Okay.
Apparently, even when they're not bleeding flowers all over them.
Shit. Go for it, Pat.
Okay. All right. Revelation 14. Here we go. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. Was this mark of the beast? Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. Okay.
So they all had the word jealous in their foreheads? I'm sorry. This is all their nicknames.
Okay. I'm gonna all right. Whew.
Getting back to part one, yeah.
144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads, and they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders, and no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. These are which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. Okay, so
I'm impressed with the way you
think
can
the
say
Bible
that.
counted butt stuff as being a virgin or not?
Probably not.
It's
Because there's a formula. that
it's a
Christians
loophole,
say.
right?
Yes. It's the
Isn't that-
loophole. It's the something hole. Oh my God.
That's who is it? Not Garfunkel. Yeah, Garfunkel and Oates. It's this female comedy music team, and they have a whole song about doing it in the ass because it's Jesus's loophole.
Oh my God. You have to share that with me. So
Fuck me in the ass because I love Jesus.
oh my God. Dude. Yeah. So the singers are made up of 12,000 from each of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's where the 144,000 comes from.
Wait.
Revelation 7:4-8.
So they're Jewish and they're not defiled with women.
I guess so. So they're pretty young then, I would imagine.
Maybe that's
So-
it. Maybe it's the looking for that higher voice.
Oh. Well, hence the name, right?
This isn't the castrati, though. This isn't the ones that were castrated necessarily.
Oh, okay.
At least they're not saying that. They're just saying they haven't fucked a woman. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, those poor young men, they haven't been defiled by women yet.
Come on, baby. Come defile me.
All right, question.
That's hot.
Question 43. Which of these words is in the Bible? Oh, is it Trinity, liberal, Christmas, or rapture?
Oh, hell yeah. It's liberal. It's so liberal because it's
So-
not Christmas. It's not rapture. And it's definitely not Trinity.
You're right. Rapture's not in there either. Okay.
Oh, no. That's made up.
So liberal. Okay. I'm curious to know where that's at. Okay.
Yep. Liberal.
Yep, you're right. Cool. The word, okay, in the King James Version of the Bible, liberal is a good word. The word conservative appears nowhere in the Bible. How in the hell did something like that happen? It says, even right here, the liberal soul.
Shall I read it?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
This one's out of Proverbs 11:25. The liberal soul shall be made fat, and he... Okay. Fat soul, that's weird. The liberal soul shall be made fat, and he that watereth shall be watered also himself. Okay.
Do I want to know what that means?
I think it's like, I would take it, this is my interpretation, right? I would take it as like a liberal soul would be someone who gives a lot, who cares for others, who understands that we're all here together flying through space on a rock and maybe we should work together instead of fight each other. Huh.
There it is, right in the Bible. Be a liberal. Yes.
Yeah, there it is. That definition that I just gave. Definitely right
Oh,
there.
and by the way, you're not supposed to lean on your own understanding here, Pats. You are supposed to pray for God's understanding so that you can understand all this shit in the Bible. Okay?
But what if God gives me different understanding than my priest says?
Ooh.
It's a
That's a
problem.
good question.
It's a problem.
That is a problem.
Yeah.
Yet another contradiction. Okay. But yeah, all the others, yeah, Trinity, Christmas is not mentioned, and neither is Rapture.
Well, going by Isaiah 32, I think I'm going to do okay as far as the Lord is concerned. It says, but the liberal deviseth liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand. I do liberal things all the time.
Yes, you are from Portland. You're as good as it gets. Yes. Yeah. Interesting.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Learned something new today.
Well, I think this one I want to go over a little bit too. Christmas, obviously, that's not in the Bible.
Yeah.
But Trinity is used by a lot of Christian groups and actually is not in the Bible. And even to like decide that the Bible is describing something that could be called a Trinity is kind of nonsense. I mean, it's really pieced together to come up with it. It's absolutely a construction of church culture and not a biblical based thing to talk about the Trinity.
Yes. In fact, the Worldwide Church of God that we were raised in also really stressed that they were non-Trinitarian. That was a big thing for them.
So interesting.
To like how our Herbert W. Armstrong talked about how false the Trinity was. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And rapture. I mean, oh my God.
Yeah, that one's made up too. Well, I mean, the whole idea of the rapture is a really modern idea.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
In the evangelical world, for sure.
Didn't you tell me that really genius, like, business idea where somebody could go to Christians and say, when the rapture happens, there's no one around to like take care of your pets like your dogs. And so I will be that person. So yeah, just pay me and I will stick around and make sure your dogs are taken care of. That's fucking genius.
People really are running that business. They're like, you can guarantee that I'm a heathen, so I won't be caught up. So pay me $250 and don't worry. We'll keep in touch and I'll take care of your dog. It's genius.
That is so great. It's like, oh my God.
That's
and
good.
People pay it.
It's a great scam.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, this the bit about the rapture here actually points out that the flat earth theory kind of shows up there because heaven is talked about as being up in the clouds.
Oh, yes.
And I mean, this is that whole thing where when we didn't have insights about space, God lived in the clouds. Once we were able to study the clouds and we could show that there was no evidence of God up there, then, oh, God is spaceless and timeless and exists outside of whatever. Oh, okay. Sounds good. Just keep moving it down the line.
Sounds like fairy tales to me.
It sounds like how stories evolve.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to question 44. Where does the Bible say that all men are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights? Is it the Law of Moses, Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, the Book of Revelation, or nowhere?
It's nowhere. I mean, that's from what? Is it the Constitution or the Bill of Rights? Bill of Rights.
Oh.
Yeah? It's from the Bill of Rights, not...
Certain inalienable rights. Why is that word hard for me to say? Inalienable.
Yeah.
Inalienable.
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 All right. So nowhere.
Yes, nowhere.
Nowhere in the Bible will you find an acknowledgement that human beings have inherent rights to life, liberty, happiness, dignity, fairness, or self-government. In the Bible, humans are sinners, worms, and slaves. God has all the rights. Yeah. That's what's happening there.
And in the words of the great comedian and philosopher himself, Mr. George Carlin, he always did say, we don't have rights. We have temporary privileges that can be taken away at any point in time.
You are not kidding. There is, however, a list out there of 30 human rights.
So, what list? What do you...
I forget what organization. I don't think it's World Health Organization. No, not World Health. I don't think it's the UN. But it's some sort of big, international organization like that came up with a list of 30 human rights. Obviously, it's not related to the Bible. It's related to humans.
Well,
having a human experience and understanding how things go and seeing the bigger picture and understanding if we care about each other and make the world better for each other, we will, in effect, make the world better for ourselves, too.
Okay, and I think I found it here, Pats. Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the 30 basic human rights list. Does that sound correct? Let me just run through them real quick because now I'm fascinated. I have not seen this before. It says all human beings are free and equal, no discrimination, right to life, no slavery, no torture and inhuman treatment, same right to use law, equal before the law, right to be treated fair by court, no unfair detainment, right to trial, innocent until proven guilty, right to privacy, freedom to movement and residence, right to asylum, right to nationality, rights to marry and have family, right to own things, freedom of thought and religion, freedom of opinion and expression, right to assemble, right to democracy, right to Social Security, right to work, right to rest and holiday, right of social service, right to education, right to cultural and arts, freedom around the world, subject to law, and human rights can't be taken away. Nice. Okay, so it is the United Nations General Assembly.
Oh, it is the UN. Okay.
Nice. Okay.
Well, I would take that as my Bible instead of the Bible.
Well, absolutely.
Seems like it's doing a better job.
That sums it up beautifully. Actually, that was really good.
All right.
All right, we are on to question 45 now. Should Christians allow non-believers into their home? It's a yes or no question.
I mean, it's got to be no.
Yeah, it's got to be no. And we'll just see the passage that it pertains to. So Christians have allowed me in their home a lot. And they know I'm about as atheist as it gets. Okay, yeah. The answer is no. Acting inhospitably is the Christian thing to do. Notice how this verse unfairly equates unbelief and diversity with evil. Go for it, Pats.
All right. We got 2 John 10 through 11. If there come any unto you, and bring not this doctrine, receive him not into your house, neither bid him Godspeed. For he that biddeth him Godspeed is partaker of his evil deeds.
Yeah.
So don't you dare be nice to those heathens.
Nope.
Don't try to convert them like I said in other places.
Don't be seen in their presence. Ugh. Ugh. You heathens, get away. Not in my house.
Don't even wish them well.
Get off my stoop. Oh, here we go. Next question, number 46. Should Christian men kiss each other?
Oh, hell yes. I think it's yes.
It is a yes or no question. I think it's yes, too. Of course, there's going to be an interesting passage in here about this. Let's see. Yep. Go for it, Pats. Read the passage.
Well, it's kind of simple here. I guess it shows up a few places, but in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, it says, greet all the brethren with a holy kiss.
Yes.
I wonder what a holy kiss is. Is that like docking?
If you don't know docking, just look it up on urbandictionary.com. I am not going to explain it here. But yeah, interesting. What is a holy kiss? What constitutes a holy kiss? It's sort of like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's interesting. All right. Question 47. Should Christians always give what they have to anyone who asks for it? I'm assuming that is also a yes.
I'm assuming so too, but apparently not unbelievers, because you shouldn't even be nice to them.
Okay. Yep. But only believers who have less than them, probably.
It says anyone.
Oh, yep.
All right. This is from the Sermon on the Mount in Luke 6. It says, give to every man that asks of thee, and of him that taketh away thy goods, ask them not again.
So it goes on to say, try asking Christians for their houses and possessions and see how faithfully they are to the teachings of Jesus. Borrow a Christian's car and see if they ever ask for it back. Modern believers know that Jesus was wrong and the Bible is not to be taken literally. Oh, okay, that's one of those weird loopholes again, where we're not supposed to take everything literally. My bad. We're supposed to know the difference. Okay.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
Sounds good.
Seems
pretty straightforward to me.
I think the major problem here is that Jesus just was kind of late to the party of capitalism. So he had to be reinterpreted to support capitalism later.
That's good, Patty. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Question 48. Do the 10 Commandments prohibit incest or rape?
No.
I'm going to say a definite no on that. Yep.
Wah, wah.
In fact, incest and rape is quite encouraged in the Bible in numerous places.
That's how you get a wife.
So-called godly men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how you get a wife. Yes, you just take what you want.
Oh my God.
Ugh.
Adultery seems to be the only one that's really talked about, but that's a property crime type situation.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Oh, that's really gross. Property crime. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Freedom from Religion Foundation here is saying, wouldn't you think that rape and incest would be like in the top 10 list of rules? Nope.
Yeah, George Carlin
Apparently
does talk about that too. The law, it says here, the law was probably intended to ensure that any child born to the wife was really the husband's child.
Oh, of course.
Since it was considered crucial for the husband to have offspring so that the family name could be perpetuated. Adultery had bearing on the patriarchy, while more violent crimes did not. I know. We're both giving each other the same look right now. I just... See, we have to laugh about stuff like this. We have to. We'll go crazy. Question 49. We're almost there, guys. If you lose a lawsuit, should you pay exactly what the court decides? Yes or no? I'm not sure about this one.
I'm not either. I'm going to say no just because based on how these questions go, it's what you least think it would be.
Or it could be yes, because God supposedly is the one that chooses all the lawmakers and people who decide.
Oh, that could have been interesting too. But it is in fact no. It says you should pay twice as much.
Twice as much? Oh.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Somehow we didn't incorporate that into our financial law.
So literally Christians are supposed to pay double any court-ordered, like, child support and shit like that. Yeah. I don't see them doing that. All right.
Last one.
All right.
We
Last one. We made it all the way through. Question 50 of 50. Can Christians ask their boss for a raise?
Nah, I'm going to say no. Of course not.
I'm going to say no, too. Yep. I love that it ended with a few of the yes or no questions. Yep. It is unchristian to ask for a raise. Nice. So,
from Luke 3, and John the Baptist said unto them, exact no more than that which is appointed you. And the soldiers demanded, what shall we do? He says unto them, do violence to no man, neither accuse any falsely, and be content with your wages. I mean, this is right up there with the Paul stuff about, like, if you're a slave, like, just hang. Just keep doing your slaviness.
Yeah. Be content with
Jesus
it.
Jesus is coming.
Yeah. $2 an hour. I think you can live okay on that. So you better just take it and be happy with what you have. Okay.
Yeah. Eat your beans.
Eat your beans. Yes.
Cool.
All right. That was intriguing, might I say, Pats. That was really something to go through. This long ass quiz. Again, it was the longer version, but it was fun. It was fun to kind of see what we knew, and we learned maybe some passages about the Bible that we didn't know before. Definitely we learned about a lot of horrific things in there. Yeah. So people know it's out there.
Boy, it sure begs the question of how the fuck it got to where it is now. How?
Yes. There's a lot more in there, actually, that our parents, being the very Hebrew Bible followers that they could have actually thrown out more, right? I mean, there's some pretty nasty stuff even in the New Testament, too.
That's true.
That could be used to control people.
Oh,
and
for
maybe
sure.
they did on some level, but yeah, certain ones stand out. But
well, it was the New Testament where they were talking about not getting married. Don't try to change your circumstances of being a slave. Just hang out. But that was under the auspice that Jesus was going to be back like real soon.
Yeah, but you notice that everything in here still just boils down to control. It has always been about control.
Well, and don't you think the immediacy of what's coming is a big part of the control? Because when we were growing up and we were under the belief of like mid-tribulation, so we believed that us in the Worldwide Church of God would have to suffer through the first 3.5 years of the 7-year tribulation. And at the midpoint is when we would be caught up to heaven or taken to a place of safety or whatever nonsense at the time. So there was not really ever any worry about getting to heaven, right? Because if we were part of God's chosen in the Worldwide Church of God, then we would be one of the ones taken to this place of safety.
Yeah.
And so what I'm seeing is that as I was growing up, I remember any kind of big bad event in the world happening, you know, some disaster, some earthquake, some war, something, would make our parents think, oh, this is it. The first part of the tribulation has started. And I was told so many times as a little kid, 3.5 years. Like, they're all excited, like, oh, this bad thing happened in the world. That must have been the start. And so then every bad news headline was cognitive biasing, reinforcing their thought that they were experiencing the end of the world.
Yeah. They have been sprouting Jesus' return for the last 2,000 years, too.
So I feel like that immediacy of saying, like, this is happening soon, you know, is still being used now, or was used with our parents, and was used by Paul 2,000 years ago to be like, just stay. Just eke out your situation, because it's almost done, even though it wasn't.
Yeah.
And so you spend like our parents have spent their whole life thinking, it's going to be any time now. It's going to be any time, which has totally stopped any ability of theirs to progress, to grow, to engage in this life that they have now.
Yes. The only one that we know we have. Yeah.
Well, yeah, all because of this carrot dangled and saying, just stay put. So not only does Christianity and apologetics use thought-stopping techniques, they literally use life-stopping techniques.
Yeah.
Making sure that you're not interested in doing life because it's all about to be ending.
Yeah.
And if you have a whole bunch of people who see no value in the current life they are living, they're not going to invest in things, in infrastructure, in social structures that are going to make life better for their children and grandchildren.
Yeah.
And so we have absolutely had our progress as humans thwarted on this planet because of the fuck-upedness of the Abrahamic religions on this planet. And it is time for it to go. And that's why we're here. Look at the nonsense that you just spent almost 4 hours, potentially, between all of these questions.
Yes, but I feel like it needed to be done.
It's all right there. It's been exposed.
Yes,
we know this is nonsense now. Why are we still going on it?
It's like, yeah, like you said, the carrot dangling. That's a really good analogy. It's dangling right in front of your face. And though you may be able to see it, but then you look right past it, you know? It's like, I got my eye on this. I got my eye on this right behind it. So I want to keep going. It's really good. Yes.
Well, it's like we're the mule being ridden with a carrot hanging out in front of us, being told if we follow that carrot, we'll get to the field of carrots.
Yes.
Right? And then, but we just keep walking behind the one carrot.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It's just like that. Oh my gosh. Oh.
Don't be like the mule.
Don't be
there
like
is no carrot.
Oh, fuck. Your ducks never get in a row, folks. No such thing as perfection. No. Try as you may. But I think this was very important that we went through this quiz. And yeah, I'll go ahead and reiterate yet again, Freedom from Religion Foundation is a wonderful organization that focuses on separation of church and state, or in a broader sense, separation of religion and government. It's definitely something that we need. This book should not be dictating people's lives. It is about as anti-humanist as you can get. Takes people's rights away, takes people's thoughts, everything. It's just strips them of their being. And we have so much potential in this world, and people want to live their lives in happiness, in true peace, not this warped realm that, you know, Christianity or the Abrahamic religions have created. And maybe some others out there too. I don't know. We're just focusing on this one for now. Yeah, it's just, and like I said, it just all boils down to control. So let's take that control back, and knowledge and control of ourselves.
Hear, hear.
Hear ye, hear ye. This fucking language in the Bible, I swear. Now hath cometh.
Well,
in my butt.
Oh dear.
Well, that's the loophole, Pat.
Oh, no.
You're supposed to bend over and take it if you can take it, so you can get into the heavenly choir.
I mean, receive it within yourself.
Receive it within yourself. I'm sorry. This was
I
great.
am an apostate. I denounce and reject all faiths, especially the Christian one and the God of the Bible.
Hear, hear.
Because we're the
Apostate sisters. Woo.
Have a good one, Nancy. It was good talking.
It was good chatting with you too, Pat. So thanks for joining us, everyone. Hope you got at least some knowledge and maybe even some amusement out of this. And maybe it'll push you to help make some changes in life. And yeah, look at things factually. Yeah.
Go forth and deconstruct.
Go forth and deconstruct. Yes.
Booyah.
Booyah.
Bye. And there you have it, the grand finale of our Bible quiz adventure. We are very grateful for your support and enthusiasm throughout this series. It's been a blast sharing our stories and our insights with you. As we close out this series, remember the conversation doesn't end here. We're going to keep questioning, keep laughing, and keep seeking truth. In our next episode, we'll be talking about the Worldwide Church of God's stance on birthday celebrations and how that worked out for us as kids in the USA in the uber-capitalistic, buy all the toys, yuppie world of Silicon Valley in the 1980s. Until then, this is Patty and Nancy, your apostate sisters, bidding you a fond farewell. Good night.